All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. So I'm going to look at three on this one. We're going to talk GameStop, we're going to talk AMC, and I want to talk BURU. That's the first time I'm covering that one. I actually love saying the ticker name so much. BURU, BURU, BURU. Interesting day today to say the least. And look, if you look at the charts, a lot of it really is this 8 and the 20 right there. All right. I mean, it's been an interesting ride to say the least. Surprised that didn't continue taking off, and we'll talk about that. Obviously, it looked like things are going to get bad, but this is why we talk about confirmation, both up and down, right? And instead of confirming down, we actually make a beautiful recovery up, all right? AMC got a little bit of an earlier start. When I woke up, this thing was already bringing an interesting day, and kind of the same thing, right? It looked like we were ready to go, couldn't quite do it. Instead of confirming down, we bring us back up and right back at that 520 line I've been talking about for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, more than a month now, right? BURU is going to be the last one we're going to talk about. Uglier day, and I'll be honest, I'm in this one, and I'm obviously taking a little bit of a loss on this one. Two things. One, I didn't wait for confirmation. It happens, but clearly it's all about the 200 moving average, right? Just wait for that might be the better thing than trying to get in a little bit early, right? But yeah, these are the 1, 2, 3 I want to talk about. Before we do go any further though, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So before I get into the charts, I want to talk a little bit about Roaring Kitty. Now, look, I am, number one, I'm not an options guy. Number two, I don't really know a lot about Roaring Kitty, all right? But I've been asking this across a couple different places, all right? What do we need to know about Roaring Kitty and his game options, all right? I thought it was going to expire the 24th. The answer is it's actually expiring on the 21st. Next Friday, the dude's options expire. And honestly, I don't know what that means. I would love to hear it from the viewers here. What are your theories? What are your opinions? Like I said, I've been posting this a few places. We got one guess right here. We have another one that I kind of wanted to share because it looked like he'd read it. Someone thought he might become a board member, and if he does, he won't exercise and he'll just take that equivalent value in commons. Hey, that kind of makes sense to me. Looks like it's been read, but a lot of people actually kind of disagree with this. They're not even sure he's going to become a board member. I have no opinions about that board member thing. Number one, that's a little more fundamental than I know. Number two, it just all sounds so silly to me, right? But hey, end of the day, we're talking about a single dude with a lot of shares, and something's going to happen to the volume when that dude does his thing, right? The Roaring Kitty guy. What is it? I don't know. Again, if you have any theories, please share them with the group. I'm curious, all right? Technical wise, couple things. There's a lot of lines here. I want to delete this one. I'm not going to delete them all because I actually think these upper ones are pretty good. I'm going to delete those right there. We'll hold this, and then obviously we have the moving averages. Okay, I like that. So I started the video with it, and I was talking about it, right? This 1-2 looks like confirmation, and I am wildly shocked that it didn't continue up and onward, right? I talked about the YouTube video a bunch. I don't think we need to talk about that too much, right? But on the technical side, we got to a resistance. A lot of people actually know we got to this resistance as well after hours or pre-market at one point, but it kind of doesn't show it here, right? But it ends up not going, which again is shocking to me. I'm not pretending it isn't, but we lose the 8. we lose the 8 and the 20, but instead of confirming, we recover, all right? And just as much as these needed to confirm, so does this one, all right? I think there's a couple things to like down here, right? We're obviously at a positive MACD. The number is 3. I didn't even have to actually show the dashes. I like that we're seeing the green over red on both the MACD and the RSI, but I think we need a little bit more from both, right? Pretty big drop after hours. I do see that happening, but look, end of the day, two things. I always say after hours doesn't matter too much unless it gets really, really loud. I don't think anything's going to matter unless we lose this 27 line, right? I got my line at 26.90, but I think as long as we're over this line, it should be good. Really, the goal, this is probably the big line next, 31.70. 31.70 look, this one's 31.60 on the close. This one is 31.6. All right, so that's actually the real number. I'm going to lower this to that is what I want to do. Where was our 33 number from? Let me just kind of zoom out and look. No, I'm cool with that because lowering it actually kind of gives me almost the bottom of that. Gives me a couple bottoms of things. I'm cool with that. I don't mind that lower. I think if we can get over this 31.50, that's where big things are going to happen right there, all right? I clearly love the fact that we got over the 8 moving average, right? This thing definitely closes a little bit over, but one more time, we definitely got to confirm. I think the confirmation is probably, and that's a big number. Sorry, I'm thinking in my head right now. Okay. I probably had that line around here, if I had to guess, going with this 50% candle right here, all right? I'm still going to keep this lowered, but I think that's our confirmation line right there. I think we need around 33.75, 33.80, basically 10%. If you can get me another 10%, I think I will call that confirmation, and I'm going to start thinking 45 from there. All right. I'm showing the hourly really quickly for this reason, and again, it's one of those things where I say I don't trust after hours a bunch. This is a nice hourly chart. Now, game is definitely on the negative MACD on the hourly, but it looks like it was getting ready. The RSI was not that high. That's a real nice growing volume over the last few hours. Oh man, this was a nice hourly setting up. I'm still liking this daily, but again, we've seen the best setups not confirm. All right. I think 27 is a very realistic number tomorrow. That would be a 10% loss. Otherwise, I would expect a 10% gain taking us into that 33 and change number, and then hopefully more. All right. I am one more time going to ask it. What do you think is going to happen with the Roaring Kitty options, which again expire next Friday on the 21st? I'm not an options guy. I really don't want to throw out educated guesses because they will be really uneducated. They will be very much just out of left field. But my goal is to consolidate a bunch of really good thoughts, really good opinions. I'll bring them back on the next videos. I'll obviously share them as well on the various socials. But yeah, next Friday, something has to happen, right? Between now and then, it's not going to expire worthless. We know that much, right? Like the dude flashed it on the YouTube video, right? So, yeah, one thing I said on the Discord, and I'll just end it here. Look, I don't think Roaring Kitty is in any, like, the dude went from a regular nobody like me 4 years ago to way more commas than I've ever seen anywhere, right? Like, regardless where it ends, if it ends even at 30 million, right? Like the dude was almost a billionaire. If it ends up ending at like 30 million, that's a winning lotto ticket that like no one ever sees, right? So believe me, he almost doesn't care. You gotta play it your way, right? Because again, he's chilling on another level. But technically, this is at least trying to set up. This is at least trying to hold. We had a good volume day, well over the 50-day line, right? Like, you get over the white line on volume and good things tend to happen, right? So one more time, 10% up or 10% down is kind of the expectation. I would be very scared if we lose this 26 number, because if we lose the 27, if we lose this 26.90, it actually might be a fast drop down to that 20 line right there. All right. I'll look at the weekly really quickly. That's an interesting, okay, it's still early. It's still only Tuesday, right? But we go for the 200, we fail. We go for the 200, we bounce and go. That's a very, very normal technical thing. You know what I mean? 75 is still a healthy number. It's a very nice RSI. There has been so much accumulation over the last two months, right? 4 weeks, 4 weeks. There's been so much accumulation. It's man. Let's see what happens. I like my. Please do not think about $60. Please do not think about all-time highs and beyond. For now, we're not even thinking 45 unless it does a little bit more tomorrow. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Please let me know your opinions about Roaring Kitty if you got them. Hey, I appreciate you so much. Let's get into AMC. And AMC actually started moving a little earlier, in my opinion. Let me go to the search real quick. Yeah, this morning, if you're in the Discord, you know I'm a sleeper. I don't wake up at market open. I enjoy my sleep, all right? But it was moving. It was like creeping that 5-6% seemingly for no reason. Lo and behold, we actually end on a double-digit day, which is beautiful, right? A little bit of the same thoughts, so I'm not sure if I'm going to chapter it together. I think the main reason I don't want to chapter it is the Roaring Kitty question that I asked on the last one, right? But look, we make a good 2-candle move. Definitely couldn't get over the toughest, the hardest of the moving averages, the 200. We come back down, looked like we were going to lose the lines, but no. Doesn't confirm. Instead, it actually comes back and barely, but enough, it does close over that 520 line, right? So I am definitely loving that. I'm surprised we saw a nice double-digit gain and we didn't see that much volume. We actually didn't even see enough volume. If you look over there, excuse me, a little bit of hiccup. We missed volume by almost 10%, more than 10%. We had two hiccups, excuse me. We had a 60 million volume day. We were expecting almost 67, right? So we did not have a good volume day, but hey, the candles did the job, all right? I think what we're going to be looking for... No, honestly, there's what we're looking for is this. We need that break of 604. I don't even care about confirmation here. I really don't. And I say that only because the 200 is just too close. All right. We've made one. I realize this is not a 2, but this is close to a 2. You know what I mean? And it's at least relatively close. I need another full 2. I need to at least wick it if it doesn't hold. We need to push it. And really, I'm actually kind of asking roughly the same thing as GameStop, maybe a little bit more. I do need a little bit more than 10% here. I obviously need more than 50 cents to get over that 6, but I think tomorrow needs to make an attempt at that 604 line. It's not really a hard, steep drop. It kind of looks like that 200 is kind of flat. So I don't think it's going to go much lower than that tomorrow, but that's what we're looking for. And again, same kind of comments. It barely there, but hey, MACD is positive. All right. That's a real healthy 55 RSI that can still go up for a minute. We just need to get over that line. Let me see if I can lower my 688. Where's this? That's too insignificant, and that's pretty much right on it. Does the weekly have anything I can lower? No, not really. Okay, I'm going to keep that. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm going to keep that 6. I don't even think I know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this line to there. All right? I'm going to take to the bottom and top of that, the top of that. I'm going to raise it to 750. I'm going to say this. If we can break the 200 moving average, I think we're going to come up to 750. Otherwise, we might just be playing ping pong. Again, do not underestimate that purple line. Look at the thing. The purple line, I mean, we lost it hard right there. I think this is kind of since November of 2021. All right. I'm going to say that one more time. Since November of 2021, we've been under that 200 moving average. There was a little moment right there. That's kind of it. There was a single day right there. That's kind of it. There was a single moment right there. Definitely didn't close, right? Like that 200 MA is a hard line. Get over it. Big things will happen. Nothing will happen until it does. We will need a better volume day for sure to not just get over it, but to actually break it. All right. Let's come into the weekly. Look, this isn't a bad weekly. We're seeing a golden cross on the weekly. I remember talking about how much this thing has struggled with the 8 and the 20 on the weekly. We're not the prettiest of candles, but we're staying over. We're trying. I need a big candle. We just need a big candle, and obviously one more after that. But just a little bit more, man. We're missing the volume here. That's been the problem. This thing moved on the big volumes and then has pretty much stayed flat. I will actually say kind of staying flat with bad volume is a little bit of a good thing in some ways. But hey, if these moving averages weren't here, it would be going lower because of that. So I think it's more of a moving average thing than like a stock strength thing. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I want to, not Nuru, BURU. BURU. Yeah, Nuburu. I love saying, there's a couple stock names I like saying. Jivo was one of them. Jivo. How is Jivo doing? This is not about Jivo. They're not even closely related. Jivo's not looking good. Dude, the CEO was supposed to be on like Biden's science cabinet or something. I had big expectations for this one, but never did it. Let's talk about BURU though, okay? So again, I'm actually a little bit in the hole on this one. I wish I just waited for confirmation or waited for the break, and I clearly didn't do it. Hey, real quick, sorry, if you can subscribe, if you can share, that'd be much appreciated. It is all about the 200 right here, and it's exactly what I was talking about on AMC. I'm not sure if you just fast forwarded or not, but just look at this chart. Okay, pretty much since the existence of that line, we have been well under it. I don't know a lot about this stock. Whenever I see a big $10 horizontal, I'm thinking to myself, it's a D-SPAC. It was a SPAC that changed its ticker to this and then clearly fell, right? You generally see big spikes up or hard deaths down from the D-SPAC. That 200 MA has been an impossibility. All right. Now, the 100 MA was an impossibility on its own that you can see it gets over it, it loses it, gets over it, and is kind of trying to like stay and recover over it, right? But this thing has been battling the moving averages and losing substantially. The real story is the volume. All right, I'm staying in this view for a reason. There has been no reverse splits on this one. So this is the actual full view of the entire history. We have never seen this kind of volume, okay? And it is all about volume holding. Let me say it one more time. Volume holding. All right. Clearly, we need to stay over the moving averages. The death line is kind of coming up. If this thing loses 16 and falls into the 15s, I would for sure start to get worried, right? What we're looking for is a break of 21. If this thing can break 21 cents, I'm just going to draw a quick line. All right. That's probably the only real candle. And look at that. It happens to be at 21. Let's even just raise it just a little bit. Let's call it 22. If we can get over 22, there is just so much red. I think I'll draw. Let's put that there. I think that's actually the safest thing to do. Look, 22 to 26. After 26, I think that's the next line. Okay, so again, There's a few different ways to play it. Clearly, I got greedy and played this incorrectly. I'm not even pretending that that's not the case right now. You can wait for this 21 to break. Might even be better for 22, but again, I wish I had more decimals on this thing and I can get you an actual better number, right? But hey, maybe like 21, 20, like where does 21 end and 22? Yeah, maybe a lower 22, maybe a higher 21, whatever your risk tolerance is, right? From there, the goal would be 26. That's a 20% move. We're talking about 4 cents right there. It looks like the real money line is 26 to 39. I would just kind of keep that in my back. But literally, red, 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 green, green, red, red, green, green, red, red, nothing, right? So, yeah, green, green, red, red, real quick. So that's a super fast channel right there. BURU, I don't know why the volume's here. It's kind of actually been like going down as well now that I'm kind of looking at it. And I'm actually kind of seeing the red increase as well. So not the prettiest of things, but on the accumulation side, there has been for sure more buying than selling, right? This candle obviously takes away all of this. Maybe all of these little ones will take away all of that, maybe. But we still have all of that. We still have all of that. You know what I mean? So I do still see more buying than selling in this 1 month window, give or take. But yeah, buying's going down, selling's going up. We need something to happen fast here or I'd be scared. I think tomorrow must close over 18, 19 cents. Looks like a high 18, low 19 is what I'm looking for. But I basically want to get back over this Monday candle. All right. Monday was an interesting doji. That's not the reaction we wanted. Hey, some people might say, look, this run to 22, because we wicked that high, right? We got as high as 23 cents. This wick up here is kind of telling of what it wants to be. I think for now, I need to see this win versus the moving averages just a little better. Look, positive MACD, very healthy 53 RSI reading, green over red on both. It's all about the moving averages. It's all about volume holding, right? And we want buying to improve and selling to decrease, right? So I guess that's kind of a basic comment on any stock. We'll end this on a low note, unfortunately. Let's look at the weekly. Let's see if I can recover. Yeah, I mean, look, this weekly has been horribly struggling with the 8 and the 20. We're starting to get horizontal, and horizontal's okay, but horizontal's not good enough, right? So by Friday, because this is the weekly chart, right, we got to get into that 18, 19. I obviously said I'd like to see that tomorrow, right? But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if you know why volume's been picking up. Otherwise, you know it. I appreciate you so, so much.